The comeback, the transformation, the new beginning. The hours we put in when no one was watching. The long nights, the drive to make it right. The work you don't see until it starts to show. The comeback. Every sprint, every push, every release. All for this. We rebuilt what needed to be better. To deliver the RMM
You forgot to put a closing bracket there.
Oh, yeah.
To deliver the RMM you asked for. The one you deserve. Because that's who it's for. You. The techs who pushed us. The users who challenged us. The Redditors who Reddited us. This is the comeback. We made a stronger tool that's automation ready with more patching, smarter alerts, faster scripts, and deeper data visibility. ConnectWise RMM.
Visit the ConnectWise booth to learn more.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jessica Jacobs, Senior Director of Product Support at ConnectWise.
And I'm Reese Crosby, Partner Development Executive at ConnectWise. Welcome.
Welcome, and we also have a special guest with us today, Brad Schow, I'm sorry, VP of Ecosystem Evangelism.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome, Brad.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be here.
So you have been deeply involved in helping build our ConnectWise IT Nation community. Can you tell us a little bit about what IT Nation represents today?
Yeah, sure, I can. And you know, I go back, I was a partner for 20 years and was at the first IT Nation, before it was IT Nation in Tampa, the first couple, all the way through till today. And look, I think IT Nation has always been and is today. It's the spot where if you're in our industry, no matter what you do, this is where you find your people. This is where you find your connections. This is where you find a way to be successful in a community that, look, virtually and online you can get connected, but this, especially the IT Nation events, this is where you interact and create those and keep those relationships going.
Yeah, this is where you find your tribe.
It is, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep. And IT Nation, as you mentioned, has been around for decades, right?
Yep.
But it feels like right now it's more essential and the energy is just thriving. What do you attribute that towards?
Well, I think our industry continually has to reinvent itself, and right now we are on the cusp of another reinvention where we need to figure out how to take the automation and the AI and even kind of the coming quantum computing type technologies, and we're always trying to figure out how does that work. We always feel like we're chasing a bit of a rabbit in our industry, and there is a massive chase happening right now around AI. And so the best way to do it is to get together and get the minds together and the people with the relationships that are talking about it, trying to figure out, that's where the cutting edge of the conversation is happening. And it, like, you can tell there's a buzz. Everybody wants to talk about those things, and this is the spot to do it.
Awesome. So how do you see the community's culture driving the success of its partners?
Yeah, you know, one of the differences I think that really established IT Nation in its formative years was it was always about the partners being successful. Like, it was about what was then VARs, and then they became MSPs. It was always about them thriving inside their business, and with that as a core value, it keeps people coming back, right? Like that, you can find other places to go to have some of these conversations, but a lot of times they're not focused on the MSP being successful. I think it's one of the big differentiators that really keeps the value going and keeps IT Nation thriving.
And like you said, you've been around for quite some time. What's a story or an example of something from the IT Nation community that you've seen that's very impactful?
Yeah, so I'll go to something that happened, look, the last 3 to 5 years. You know, I was a partner, and then I was a part of our peer group program, and we, as MSP owners, you put a lot of sweat equity into your business, and you hopefully find some success. And then what you're ultimately hoping for is that someday there will be an exit where you can reap the rewards of all the hard work you did building your business. And what we've seen the past 3 to 5 years, with an influx of interest and private equity money and other things coming through, partners working together to build bigger businesses and then turn them into something that a private equity company would come in and invest in, and that money then flows into there, and then they go buy other companies, and it just injects it injects an enthusiasm, and it injects a desire for, even if you're not ready to sell, to sharpen your sword in how can I run my business better, which means I need to get to the IT Nation to help figure that out, right? It's really spurred things along.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you're talking about there, as far as like growth and having other MSPs help ones that are a little bit younger, less mature,
right,
is modes theory, right? Like we see a lot of these empire builders that are now trying to help others in the MSP industry so they can actually grow their business and be more apt to private equity or acquisition, things like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So it kind of brings us to the ecosystems.
Yeah.
So, as I introduced you earlier, your title is Vice President of Ecosystem Evangelism, which is a fascinating one.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is a mouthful. I had to look down and make sure I'm saying it correctly. So, what does that mean in practical terms, and how does it relate to IT Nation?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the ecosystem is made up of, you have MSPs, like ideally at the heart you have MSPs, but you have solution partners, you have SaaS companies, you have even the clients of the MSPs are all part of this ecosystem that has to work together for everybody to be successful. Like if the MSPs would have nothing to sell if it wasn't for ConnectWise or the other solution partners that you find here. And my job as an evangelist is to help the MSP community understand and kind of tap into the value that a ConnectWise would bring, or some of the other solution partners that are here that are an important part of that ecosystem. How do we get them maybe past a little bit of an adversarial relationship or not understanding how to work together, to realize that if we work together better, we're all gonna, like the rising tide lifts all boats
rise
scenario.
together. Right.
That's part of my job, is to help make those connections.
Yeah.
So, where do you see the biggest opportunity for growth and innovation?
Well, we talked about already. AI, I think, is it's really that's the future, clearly. And the biggest opportunity and the biggest challenge right now is, I think we're going to have to reinvent ourselves, where the core services that used to make up what an MSP used to do are going to be like table stakes, but what you're going to have to position yourself as is some sort of a technology, a business process, a AI specialist, where we can help you overhaul and get better at doing your business. And oh, by the way, we'll also provide the core services that an MSP used to. So you'll be leading with these AI, the automation type technologies, and be business consultants, almost more so than the normal services that you would offer. Mm-hmm. And so those two are going to marry, and you're going to have to learn a new value proposition and how to go to market that way.
Yeah. So is that kind of where you see the ecosystem evolving into the partners' future needs, is AI, but then leading more to more consulting type of work for them?
Yeah, and it's going to come quick, and we'll use the term, like, they're going to have to learn to eat the dog food first, right? Like they are trying to figure it out, and as they figure it out, bring the way to apply those things to their client, right? To the MSP's client. I think it was talked about this morning that the small business, medium business that we serve, just like they don't want to be technology experts, they don't want to be AI experts. They want to leverage AI, but they don't want to have to be the ones to figure out how do you do that, right? That needs to become the MSP's job.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so before we wrap up, I'd like to bring back to a moment that what motivates you personally?
Yeah, it's a good question. Short answer is relationships.
Okay.
Relationships, but then in the context of those relationships, seeing the success, seeing the growth, seeing the aha moments, seeing the successful exits of people that have kind of worked for 20, 30 years in their business, and then being able to pass that business on to somebody else and take some money off the table and lead a successful life beyond what we do here. And then, who's next up, right? There's more people in the community that we can help. So short answer is relationships.
Okay. So if you could sum up the IT Nation community in one word or phrase, what would that be and why?
In my mind, it would be success, because if it's here, Like, I mean, it's in the IT Nation community. If you're looking to be successful at something, we have enough of all of the parts coming together on a regular basis, where if you just do a little digging, you're going to find the people that are successful and you can learn how to do it.
Yeah, between Evolve, between Sleek, all the different resources, the community itself that you have available to you, it's very impactful as far as what you can do to be successful and meet your most ambitious vision of success.
Yeah.
That's right.
Back to our mission statement. So we'll go back to that.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brad, thanks for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate all your insight.
Yeah, great to be here.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, so we're going to wrap up here, but again, don't forget, there is a QR code that I believe is on the screen or on this video underneath in the comments. So if you scan that code, $300 for your all-access pass for IT Nation Connect 2026. So I highly recommend you take advantage of that. I believe that ends on November 12th.
Yep, and then we'll see you here next year with us.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.